Hey guys, um, today's topic is pretty serious. Um, for the past 2 days, I've asked you guys to vote for a poll on what my next video topic should be, and the winner was how to talk someone out of suicide. So, I hope I can do this video justice. Um, as a person who on their advice blog gets quite a lot of questions about people who are thinking of taking their own lives or are on the brink of it or have already planned everything out, um, it's pretty scary to be the one to have to talk them out of that because they chose you to get them through this. And my theory is that if someone comes to you and says something like, there's no point in living anymore, I just can't do it, or I'm worthless, I shouldn't even be here, no one would care if I were gone, that's almost like a cry for help. And I don't mean that in the attention seeking way. I just mean that as someone who has contemplated committing suicide, it's kind of the way of saying, yes, I want to do this, but there's still a part of me that doesn't, and I need someone to give me a reason to make that part bigger. And it's really difficult being the person that has to talk them out of it, because sing enough for them, or you know, try hard enough, or whatever, a life could be lost. And that's never happened to me before, but I imagine that it is an incredibly large weight to have on you, knowing that you weren't successful. And it's not, I'm not saying it's going to be all your fault if you can't convince this person to stay, because ultimately you can't make that decision for them. You can't make them stay. They have to choose to. But some people have no idea how to deal with this, and or they get totally choked up and panic, and I understand. I totally understand. It's a huge weight on you, and it's a huge responsibility for you, because this is a person's life, and they're deeming you responsible for saving them. And even though the truth of the matter is that they make the decision to stay, they're coming to you to give them a reason. Now, there are a couple situations, couple different situations here. So the first one I want to talk about is if it's someone that you know in real life. Okay, if you can go to this person's house, if you hang out with them on a daily basis, if it's your best friend or something, it's going to be a little bit more simpler to keep this person safe and keep them alive long enough so that you can hopefully calm them down. So if you ever experience someone that you know personally and in real life and are able to be with them physically, the first thing you should do is make sure that someone is with them. Now that can be you, that can be one of their family members, it can be another friend. So your first step would be to alert someone to be with your friend. Okay, if you can't be with them, you need to alert their family or another friend to go and be with them and keep them out of harm's way and keep them from doing anything. And if this person is still continuing to talk to you, you need, see, this is where it gets difficult, because it depends what the person wants to hear, almost. And you don't really know that going into the situation. So once someone is with your friend and you know that they are safe for the time being, now is when you can start telling them things like, you're not worthless, And that is probably one of the most important things that you will say to someone, is telling them that they are not worthless, okay? And if this is a friend that you've known for a while or you just made or something, tell them how they've impacted your life. Tell them, if it weren't for you, I would be with a guy who treated me like crap. Or if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have gotten myself back into school. Or if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have taken that job interview or something. Or even just, you're the one who makes me laugh every day. Or you're the only one who can put me back in a good mood. Or you're always willing to spend your money on me when I don't have any. Just something so that your friend knows I make a difference in my friend's life. And my friend loves me. And my friend cares about me. And my friend loves having me here. So you need to make sure that this friend knows that you really do love having them in your life, and they really do make an impact on you. And hopefully that should start calming them down a little bit, because hopefully they can start saying, okay, my friend needs me, I help my friend, I've made positive impacts on my friend. And hopefully if that has started working, then you can start telling your friend that it's simply too early for them to go. I mean, maybe they haven't even graduated high school yet. Or maybe they haven't even had their first job. Or maybe they've never been to a certain hotspot vacation spot like Disney World or something. And you need to remind them that there are still things that they haven't done that need to be done. That they're not done with life yet. And that's something that I always do. Especially people who say I have nothing to live for, I tell them all of these things that they haven't done yet, or that they could possibly do. And that's really important, because a lot of them haven't thought about the fact that, they haven't graduated, or they haven't they haven't even maybe gotten, they haven't gotten married yet, they haven't been to California, they haven't done things that they still want to do. And that doesn't cross their mind when they're contemplating suicide. And something that I usually tell people is that right now they are blinded by pain. And I know that because I've been there. Because when you're the one contemplating suicide, your thoughts are usually, I'm never going to get anywhere in life. I haven't accomplished anything yet. Nothing is going to get better. I already suck as a person. No one would care if I'm gone. And it's just those negative thoughts that fill your head. And we don't see that there are so many good things to come. And there are so many great opportunities that we're going to have. We don't think about that. That doesn't cross our minds. So we need to be reminded of that. So once you have this friend that you know in real life that is safe, they're with someone, whether it be you, a parent, or someone, and you've reminded them that, hey, you are this awesome person that my life would not be the same without, and these are all the things that you haven't done yet and have yet to do, hopefully they'll be a little bit calmer and they'll start realizing, like, okay, maybe my plan wasn't such a good idea. Maybe I shouldn't go through with this. And then this is when you can step in and say, I think that we need to get you some help. Even if they already, go to therapy or have been to a treatment program or something, this is your opportunity to say, I want you to get better, and I want you to be alive, and I want you to stay here. And we can do that together. I can help you through this. That suicide is not your only option. And you need to tell them, yeah, dying would make sure that nothing bad would ever happen to you ever again, but it would also make it so nothing good would ever happen to you again. And that's not fun. I mean, we like when good things happen. We like having fun. And they need to be alive for that. And they need to know that things are going to get better for them. That the pain that they feel now isn't always going to be there. It's going to go away. And they need to be told all of these things because their mind isn't telling them that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be contemplating suicide. So, that's, and if, I forgot to mention this, but if you can't be there for your friend, a parent isn't there or can't be there for your friend, or you don't have any other friends that can go meet this friend, call your local emergency number. Whether it be 911 or whatever it is, call your local emergency number and tell them, my friend is thinking about contemplating suicide, no one can be there, I need someone to go and check on them. They will send someone out. Okay, so whether you have to call the emergency number or you have to rush over there or something, just make sure that your friend is safe. And make sure that you tell them, you are this awesome person and you can't leave yet because you haven't gone and lived. You haven't done stuff that you want to do. You haven't experienced enough stuff yet. You still have plenty of time here, and I want you to be around for that. I want you to stick around, and I want you to experience stuff with me. Like, we're friends, dude. We gotta do this together. Okay, so now I've told you how to, hopefully, talk your close friend out of suicide. Now, one of the trickier situations is someone online, because they may live in Australia, or they may live in Alaska, or they may live in South America, and you don't. Okay, you live in England, or Canada, or Hawaii, or something. You two are on totally different pieces of land. You have no way of rushing to their house. You have no way of calling their parents. You have no way of calling your friends and saying, hey, so-and-so is having a really rough time and I think they're going to do something that they regret. I need you to go over there. You have your keyboard. And that's it. Now, one of the things you can do is, obviously, since you have a keyboard and you have internet and you're talking to this person, you can look up the local emergency number. And you can say, so-and-so, like, if you can get the person's general location or town or something, you can say, this person is going to commit suicide. I need someone to go over there. That's always an option. It might be a little bit more tricky if it's a different language and you don't know how to speak that language. But it is something that you could possibly do. And if you can't do that, one of the things that you can say to this person, say, I'm going to continue talking to you. I'm going to help you through this, but I really think you should call your local emergency number, or you should call a hotline so that you have someone there with you and you have someone that you can hear. You have someone that you can actually talk to. And hopefully they'll agree to that. Now, if they don't, which is always a possibility, now you know that this person is completely alone and they're about to do something that could be absolutely terrible. And basically the steps are the same. Okay, this person needs to be reminded that though you don't know them well, it doesn't mean they're not important. And it doesn't mean that they don't have friends that love them dearly, and it doesn't mean that they don't have parents that would be devastated for the rest of their lives if they left. And those are the things they need to be reminded of, that even though their parents may not show it all the time, or their friends may, forget to appreciate them or something, that they're still loved and they're still cared about. And like I said earlier, that's really important for a person who's contemplating this to be reminded of, because their mind is telling them the complete opposite. Their mind is telling them that they're worthless, they're a piece of shit, they don't even deserve to be here. That's what their mind is telling them. And so you have to be the one to say no. Okay, your mind is wrong and it's lying to you, and it's fighting against you, not with you. And you, the one talking them out of this, are fighting with them. And that's really important. Now, after you've reminded this person that they're loved, they have family that cares about them, they have friends that wouldn't even know what to do if they left, it's basically the same as, well, it is the same as a friend that you know in real life, and that would be to remind them that, hey, there are all these things in life that you haven't done yet, and you haven't even been to the country that I live in, or stuff like that. They need to be reminded that they're not done. They haven't experienced, they haven't gone out and done things, they haven't accomplished things yet, they haven't, they're not done yet. This is not the time to go. They're not ready yet, even though they feel like they are. And they need to be reminded, and they need to be told that the pain that they're experiencing now is going to end. And whatever struggles they're facing aren't going to last forever. And whatever hardships they've experienced have only made them stronger, even if it doesn't feel like that right now. Because they have. Because I can tell you personally that after my family lost our cars and our heat and our home, okay, we ended up losing everything, I didn't feel strong right afterwards. I felt completely broken down and humiliated and embarrassed because I had to tell people the reason that I don't live with my family anymore is because we lost everything. But it made me stronger in the end. Because now I know I'm smarter because of that. I have more knowledge of how to handle my finances and my life. And I know what mistakes to make and, well, you know what I mean. I know what not to do, and I know what to do now. And it's made me stronger, and it's made my family stronger because of it. And so they may not realize it right now that whatever struggles they're facing, it doesn't feel like they're stronger. But give it 6 months, a year, something like that, and they're going to realize, like, wow, that tough time last year really added to me, really made me stronger. And they need to be reminded of that, even if they don't believe you. Okay, they're probably not going to believe a lot of the things you say. They're probably going to argue against you and say, you're wrong, you're just saying that, you don't even know me. But you just have to keep going. You have to keep saying, you can't leave yet. You have people who love you. You have people who don't want you to leave. You have people who are going to be devastated when they find out you're gone. And you have so much that you haven't done yet. And you have goals, and you have dreams, and you have desires and wishes and wants. And they all need to be fulfilled. And you have a lifetime to make yourself happy. And they need to be reminded that the pain that they're going through now isn't going to last forever. Because guarantee there was another point in their life where they felt pain, where they were going through a hardship, where they were going through a struggle, and it ended. They didn't feel that forever, and they need to be told that. I even ask them to remember a time where a hardship that they went through past 5 years, and ask them if that pain is still present today. Hopefully the answer is not yes, because then that makes things a little bit trickier for you, but hopefully the answer will be no. And then you can say the same thing is going to happen with this. You're going to realize 5 years down the road that it's a great thing that you didn't kill yourself, because now you have an awesome job, or you got to see 4 of the states that you've been meaning to go to, or you got an amazing opportunity to travel the Caribbean, or you met the love of your life, or now you're back in school and you're doing awesome. I mean, you don't know what the future's going to be like. And yes, they can always say, well, maybe the future's going to be shit. But that's pessimistic, okay? And pessimistic attitudes suck. And I know, because I used to have a pessimistic attitude. can't speak today. I'm sorry. Gosh. But the point is that if someone is coming to you and saying, I don't want to do this anymore, there's no point to living, I just want to die, I don't want to be here, you need to remind them of everything good. And you need to remind them of all the things they haven't done yet. And you need to remind them that there's so many people that love them and care about them and would be devastated if they left this world. Because right now, you are the only thing telling them that. Because everything else in their life is telling them otherwise. Their mind, their disorder, their illness, their maybe even their family and friends. In that case, get new friends. Because if your friends are making you feel like you're worthless or you're a piece of shit or you don't matter, they're not friends. And I know there's not much you can do about parents, but that's abuse. And something needs to be done about it. So those are basically the two types of situations. You have the people that you know in real life that may be affected by it, that you can actually be with. And then, even if it's not in another country, if you can't physically be with this person or you don't know anyone that can, that second situation applies to you. And the two situations are extremely similar in what you should tell them. And sometimes this takes a long time to talk them out of it. Sometimes it might take all night. Sometimes it might take an hour. Sometimes it might take 5 minutes. Okay, you don't know. So if someone comes to you saying these sort of things, be prepared to be talking to them for a while because you don't know how long this is going to take. And the most important thing is that you have patience with them and you're understanding and you're listening to them. Because I can guarantee that no one has probably been listening to them for a while. So they need someone who is going to listen to them and actually listen. Well, this video is already longer than I expected, and I still have some stuff to add in. So hopefully this was at least a little bit helpful, and I hope that those of you who get tripped up on this kind of stuff or are just really, really bad at these kinds of situations, hopefully this can help you a little bit. And to those of you who had no idea how to talk someone out of suicide, I hope you can at least apply some of this to a situation if that ever arises. And if that situation ever arises, I am so, so sorry, because that is not a fun situation to be in. And yes, I like saving lives, but I don't like that there are people out there that feel like they shouldn't be alive anymore. So that's all for today. I don't know what my next video is going to be. I'm thinking maybe a Q&A type question. So if there's any questions that you guys have for me, they can be anything really. Leave them in the comments section or send them to me on my Tumblr or something, because I think that would be a really good opportunity for you guys to get to know me a little bit instead of me just ranting at you for 10 to 20 minutes. Okay, bye.